Imagine dedicating over a decade to build India's biggest edtech empire, only to see it unravel amid debt, bankruptcy filings, and international legal battles. That's the position of millions of students, teachers, and employees caught in Byju's fallout. Today, we look at a bold legal gambit. The founders of Byju, Ravindran and Divya Gokulnath, are set to file a $2.5 billion lawsuit against Glas Trust and lenders, accusing them of reputational damage and hostile takeover tactics. But what does this mean for you, the student using their app, the educator teaching through it, or the investor watching from the sidelines? Their fight isn't just corporate. It could shape investor confidence, educational access, and the fate of startup governance. Here's what unfolded. What happened? On July 17th to 18th, legal counsel for the founders announced preparations to file claims in India and overseas against Glas Trust, representing their US lenders and others. Why now? Glas Trust and lenders earlier accused the founders of orchestrating a cover-up and siphoning off $533 million from a $1.2 billion loan via Byju's US arm, Alpha. A US bankruptcy court found Byju in contempt on 7th July for not sharing documents. Founders' stance, their lawyers, led by J. Michael Mucknett, say these allegations are reprehensible, damaging their personal and professional reputations, and that they will fight back on all fronts. Legal positioning: lawsuits are lodged in Indian tribunals like the NCLT, and plans are underway to pursue defamation and reputational suits abroad. They're naming not just Glas, but also entities involved in the ongoing insolvency process. This is more than a legal tit-for-tat. Here's why it matters. Control battle over Think and Learn. At stake is control of assets worth billions, educational platforms, user base, technology. Glas Trust's move to remove itself as creditor and change the insolvency committee signals a coordinated takeover strategy. Reputational warfare, $2.5 billion is massive. The founders are drawing a line in the sand. They want to shift public narrative from fund mismanagement to deliberate character assassination. Investor sentiment and governance culture: India's startup ecosystem is watching. Are lenders wielding Chapter 11 and insolvency tools responsibly or exploiting loopholes? The outcome could influence future lending terms, board rights, and founder protections. Risks and credibility. On the flip side, Glas Trust responded sharply, calling the move desperate and meritless, pointing to findings like a US court's intention to refer for criminal charges over bribe attempts and mismanagement of the $533 million. If the courts validate those findings, the founders' case could collapse. Where this goes next: expect prolonged litigation, US motions, NCLT hearings, civil contempt appeals. Meanwhile, the bankruptcy and insolvency processes continue, sending mixed signals to students, teachers, and investors. So what's the takeaway? This lawsuit is more than a legal counterstrike. It's a high-stakes gambit to own the narrative. It could reshape governance norms in India's startup ecosystem. But it's also a gamble. Litigation is unpredictable, and courts in India and the US may not find fault where the founders claim. For now, the big question remains: who will write the final chapter, founders or financiers? We are Answer IAS. This is Orbit.